11 News starts with breaking news.
Breaking right now, new COVID-19 cases in Allegheny County continue to skyrocket.
The county health department just released a new report. It says it has learned of 500 new cases in just the last 24 hours. The test results are all from the past week with a positivity rate of nearly 19%. This is the second straight day with 500 plus new cases reported. Yesterday, the county had an all-time high of 527 new cases. The state reporting about 4,800 new cases since yesterday, with a sharp rise in hospitalizations from last Monday. And with numbers like that, a lot of people are wondering if we're going to see lockdowns again.
State Health Secretary Dr. Rachel Levine just answered that question in the past 15 minutes and says it's up to us.
No plans to go back to red, yellow, green, or any type of schema such as that. And so the best way that businesses can work with us in order to prevent anything from happening is to really do everything I just said. Is that we need to enforce and to work with limiting the number of people in a business at any one time, to limit the capacity to 50%. We want restaurants that are at 50%. We want people to wear a mask and to social distance and wash their hands. And so
Although no lockdowns are planned in Pennsylvania on the state level, Governor Tom Wolf did join governors from 5 other northeastern states for an emergency summit this past weekend, and they talked about adding restrictions to stop the spread of the virus.
And officials in Philadelphia plan to announce new restrictions this afternoon. The restaurants are trying to prepare themselves for possible new lockdowns. Philly broke its own record Friday with 1,100 new cases. At least 15 states have now ordered increased restrictions, including Michigan and Wisconsin. The governor in Michigan placed a ban on indoor service at bars and restaurants and closed down gyms for 3 weeks. Washington State is doing the same for 4 weeks. Well, on to a different subject. Breezy and chilly today with more strong wind gusts.
We've certainly seen a lot of wind out there the last 24 hours. And looking ahead, meteorologist Danielle Dozier is tracking when we could see snow showers in Severe Weather Center 11. Danielle?
Yeah, guys, right now it is sunny out there. We have a temperature of 45 degrees. The wind chill, though, is still at 38, and that's because we have a strong wind that's at 17 miles per hour. Greensburg, you're checking in at 46. Indiana, you're at 45. The gusts are really strong again today, everyone. 35-mile-per-hour wind gusts in Greensburg, 33 to Indiana, and 26 mile per hour in Pittsburgh. Our forecast for the rest of the afternoon, we're looking at temperatures climbing into the upper 40s and low 40s through 8 p.m. We will keep the sunshine and then a clear sky as the sun goes down. Make sure you have your coats on today. It'll feel a little bit cooler as well when you factor in those winds that could gust up to 30 miles per hour for the rest of the day today. I am tracking that chance for a wintry mix of rain and snow, maybe even a little sleet mixed in as we head into the overnight period. I'll have that for you and when we'll be seeing some snow showers coming up.
Thanks, Danielle. Parts of our area are still without power after yesterday's strong winds. A tree was blown out of power lines on Thompson Run Road in Ross Township. That road is still closed in both directions. Duquesne light crews were out working last night and returned this morning. We also saw power crews working on Rodi Road in Penn Hills. A branch came down on power lines there and blocked the road. At last check, Duquesne Light was working to restore service to around 2,800 customers. They all expect service restored by 6 tonight. West Penn Power was hit hard in Butler and Washington counties. Make sure to watch Channel 11 Morning News starting at 4:30 for the latest on the snow showers tomorrow. And you can get an updated forecast anytime on the WPXI News app.
The National Guard is helping a Westmoreland County nursing home that is reporting a new outbreak. Cases among residents at Quality Life Services in Washington Township more than doubled since last Monday. COVID has infected 60% of the facility, including 112 residents and staff. In-person visitation is suspended, and cases at another Westmoreland County facility seem to be slowing. The number of new infections are down at Westmoreland Manor. After the last 2 weeks, there have been just 5 new cases among residents. The facility saw a huge spike back in September. The National Guard was called in to assist with testing. And breaking news, the North Allegheny School District is going completely virtual starting Thursday and for the rest of the month. According to the district's COVID tracker, 87 staff members and 612 students are in quarantine.
All students in the Pittsburgh Public School District are back at remote learning. Last week, the district allowed more than 800 students to return to their classrooms. These were mainly students struggling with online learning. But because of the sharp rise in cases, district leaders have closed all campuses for the rest of the calendar year.
They all are concerned for their student safety. We have some very vulnerable students, and for their families. People have sick parents, sick children. They have their own issues.
Right now, full-time virtual learning will continue until at least January 4th. The plan is to phase in hybrid learning after the holiday break. There's been another promising announcement about a vaccine trial 1 week after Pfizer's results were made public. Pharmaceutical company Moderna also says that early results from their vaccine trials are looking extremely good. NBC's Miguel Almaguer has the latest.
That big announcement from Moderna comes after the company says its vaccine is about 94.5% effective. It comes after a trial on about 30,000 people, and an independent company watching its data says there are no major safety concerns. Now, Moderna's vaccine comes out after Pfizer announced its vaccine was about 90% effective a few weeks ago. Now, the big difference between the two, Moderna says its vaccine does not need to be kept refrigerated at incredibly low temperatures, which could help with the distribution and shipping of its vaccine. All of this comes as the CDC says upwards of 35,000 Americans could die from the virus in the coming weeks by December, roughly. Americans say they need this vaccine quickly, and it appears they'll get it in the next couple of months. Miguel Almaguer, NBC News, Los Angeles.
Doctors are urging people to get flu shots as concern over a flu-COVID combo grows. In the last week, there's been more than 380 confirmed flu cases statewide and 1 death. Brian Lamb, a doctor for Allegheny Health Network, says testing is the only way to tell the difference between the viruses. But if someone were to be infected with both, that could make people a lot more sick.
We aren't in control of the coronavirus at this point. Every day the numbers are going higher and higher and higher. And now we're seeing this combination. We're starting to see the flu creep in as well.
Doctors say the best way to build immunity is by getting your flu shot. Flu season runs through March, but the worst months are January and February.
Neighbors help us set the scene of a fierce fire in Kennedy Township. You can see just how intense the flames were on Castle View Drive. We first followed this as breaking news during our morning newscast, and since then, Channel 11's Alyssa Raymond learned the people who live there try to put out the flames by themselves.
You can see the front of this house is burned pretty good. A man and his wife woke up to the sound of smoke detectors and the smell of smoke. They tried to put the fire out themselves, but weren't able to. And at that point, they knew they just needed to get out.
Flames were very intense. It was coming through the roof pretty good.
Neighbors shared these videos with us. The fire started around 4:30 in this condo on Castle View Drive off of Ewing Road in Kennedy Township. The man and woman who live here managed to get out of the house safely. So did their cat and dog. Then they knocked on their neighbors' doors to let them know about the fire. Firefighters arrived within minutes and prevented the fire from spreading to other units.
You can see from a pretty good distance, actually from our firehouse and McCoy Road, you can see smoke in the air and the orange glow from probably about a mile away. And we pulled up here, this whole area here was filled with smoke, and it was just glowing from the fire.
The units on each side didn't have any damage inside, just some damage you could see to the roof. There's about 100 homes in this Castle View neighborhood, and we're told this is the first fire in this community. The official cause of this fire is still being investigated. I've been speaking with a bunch of neighbors starting at 5 tonight. Hear what they heard started it, plus what prevented this from being much, much worse. Reporting in Kennedy Township, Alyssa Raymond, Channel 11 News.
An investigation is underway after a deadly shooting in Carrick. Police were called to Brownsville Road after a report of a double shooting at around 10:30 last night. They found one victim collapsed behind a building. He later died at the hospital. The second victim was not found. No word on any arrests. Allegheny County Police are also investigating a double shooting in McKees Rocks. Police found 2 men with gunshot wounds last night at the intersection of Island Avenue and Churchill Streets. The victims were taken to the hospital and both are expected to be okay. Police are asking for witnesses to come forward.
President Donald Trump admits on Twitter Joe Biden won the election. Words the world has been waiting to hear from the president.
I think that's a start of an acknowledgement.
But then the president followed that tweet with several tweets about disputed claims of election fraud, declaring, "I concede nothing," and "I won the election." The White House is still blocking President-elect Joe Biden's access to intelligence briefings, and Biden's team has not been authorized to work with the government on vaccine distribution. Meantime, the Trump campaign has dropped a key claim in the lawsuit challenging Pennsylvania's election results. The lawsuit is still happening, but they no longer claim hundreds of thousands of ballots were processed illegally without their representatives watching. That hearing is set for tomorrow.
A day after beating the Bengals to stay undefeated, Steelers headquarters on the south side is closed. The facility is getting a deep clean. Only players needing access to the training room will be allowed in during a limited time. Last Monday, tight end Vance McDonald tested positive, and a day later, 4 players, including Big Ben, were placed on the COVID reserve list. Those 4 players were cleared for yesterday's game. No practice was no problem for Ben. He still threw for a season-high 333 yards and had 4 touchdown passes.
Really just felt nice and rested coming into today, so tried to talk coach and see if I could take next week off too.
It's Ben been doing this for a while now, going, here 15 plus years, being in the league and doing what Ben does. For him, it's more like backyard football, being out there.
The Steelers will take their undefeated season on the road to Jacksonville this Sunday. The NCAA announced this morning it plans to hold the entire 2021 men's college basketball tournament in one place to lower the risk of COVID-19. The organization said it's in talks with Indianapolis to be the host city. The Final Four is already set to be held in Indianapolis, and the NCAA headquarters are there.
PNC is buying the U.S. subsidiary of Spain's BBVA Bank for more than $11 billion in cash. The company's U.S. headquarters is in Houston. It operates 637 branches in the U.S. That deal could close by the middle of next year.
Pandemic and everything else going on, this on top of everything kind of sucks.
A pricey Christmas present stolen right off their porch. What you can do to protect your packages.
Crash after crash on a stretch of local road. The changes being made this week to slow down speeders.
And we are dry right now across the area, but I'm tracking a wintry mix overnight tonight and some snow showers through the day tomorrow. Have your hour-by-hour timing coming up.
traffic alert for speeders. Work is being done on a busy road in Carrick that has been the scene of crash after crash. The goal is to slow drivers down by installing traffic calming measures. Channel 11's Michelle Chavez spoke with neighbors on Maytide Street who are hoping the changes stop the accidents.
When you're driving down a road like this one, it's not hard to suddenly find yourself going over the speed limit. So this week, crews are starting to install traffic calming measures to make the road safer for drivers and residents. City officials say those traffic calming measures include 4 speed tables, which are like speed bumps but longer and flat at the top. They plan on working along Maytide Street between Sawmill Run Boulevard and Brownsville Road in Carrick. This comes after a long history of speeding and accidents on Maytide. City officials say over the summer they found 99% of vehicles went over the speed limit. The average speed, they say, was 36 miles per hour. One resident tells us it wasn't always this bad.
When I moved here, there was like tons of potholes, so that slowed people down. The moment they paved the street, it was like open road. It became like a racetrack.
The city says to expect a full road closure on Wednesday and Thursday this week. And tonight, we'll show you just how dangerous this road has been for one of the residents. Michelle Chavez, Channel 11 News.
The Port Authority is looking for your input as it plans for the future. It's part of the Next Transit program. The input will help guide future projects. If you're interested, 3 online meetings will be held this week, with the first one set for tomorrow morning at 11:30.
The judge deciding whether Pittsburgh's Christopher Columbus statue should be removed is being called on to recuse himself. The Italian Sons and Daughters of America claim Judge Jack McVeigh is biased and cannot rule fairly on the case. The Pittsburgh Arts Council recommended the statue be removed following protests. That's when the Italian Sons and Daughters filed a lawsuit, and now the group claims the judge took a position in the case by casting Columbus in a bad light in a recent ruling. Today, Fox Chapel plans to vote on whether to remove a word from various street signs. The word in question is squaw. Some claim it is a slur against Native American women. The word is on several roads, trails, and waterways in the area. Fox Chapel spent the last few months seeking input from residents. They conducted a survey and allowed people to voice comments at a meeting last week. You can look for continuing coverage of today's vote on Channel 11 News starting at 5. Back in August, O'Hara Township voted to rename their park. The council voted 6-1 to rename the site O'Hara Township Community Park.
Overnight, there were water rescues in Erie. This video shows beachfront homes underwater. Officials say the high winds pushed Lake Erie over retaining walls, flooding coastal communities. As many as 30 people and a half-dozen pets were rescued from Kelso Beach and Dobbins Landing. One man reported water up over the first-floor windows.
Your severe winter Team 11 forecast.
It was incredible to watch those lakes over the weekend and the high winds just basically pushing all of that water out and those lake levels dropping. Well, around here we had winds that were gusting up to 60 miles per hour. West Mifflin was 63 miles per hour in Washington. We had a 62 mile per hour wind, and I was on air alerting you guys when that was happening yesterday. It was really incredible to see. Franklin, 59 mile per hour wind. Indiana, the airport there, 56, and Pittsburgh International, 46 miles per hour. Those winds are still strong today, but nowhere near as damaging as what we had out there yesterday. We're looking at winds sustained anywhere from 15 to 20 miles per hour through the next couple of hours. They could gust up to 30. Then once they get into the evening hours, those winds will lighten up. Here's 5 to 10 mile per hour winds at 9 p.m. So the winds will be light overnight tonight out of the west-southwest. The temperature will be falling down into the middle 30s into your Tuesday morning. I'm also tracking a chance for a wintry mix. So this is most likely going to be a rain-snow mix. It could briefly mix with a period of sleet, so that's something I'll be watching very closely as the temperatures fall overnight tonight. You can see as we head into the hour-by-hour forecast tomorrow, temperatures really aren't going to climb a whole lot. It's going to be one of our coldest days this week, with a high temperature only topping out near 40, and our average high is 51, so you can see how much below average we will be. So 41 the daytime high tomorrow. The winds do pick up towards toward tomorrow morning, and they will continue to blow into the afternoon with occasional gusts to about 30 miles per hour. It will be a west-northwesterly wind for us, which is actually the wind that you need for snow showers. So we are looking at west-northwest wind drawing in a little bit of moisture that is left over from Lake Erie from the high winds we've had, and that will be pulling in some of those snow showers as we head into the day tomorrow. Here's the latest hour-by-hour timing. For the rest of today, it is sunny. We do build in a few more clouds as we head toward evening, and then we'll really thicken up the clouds toward 10 and 11 p.m. tonight. During the overnight period, as many of us are probably sleeping, we're looking at some snow showers mixed in with a little bit of rain and, again, perhaps a little bit of sleet. That's the purple shaded color you see there, that mixed precipitation. We'll go into the morning commute, and we do expect scattered snow showers. So while this weather model may only be painting a few here and there, this is one of those events where we will be tracking that snow coming in from northwest to southeast across the area. And if you do get under one of these snow bands that are pretty persistent, you could have some light accumulation, and I'll talk more about accumulation coming up in the next half hour. In the meantime, the rest of the timing shows that as we head into the afternoon, the temperatures begin to climb, and therefore we start to see a little bit of rain mixing back in with that snow toward the afternoon. So just kind of an ugly day. It'll be rather cloudy and gusty and cold, really, when you factor in the winds. We'll take a look at the wind chill forecast as well for tomorrow coming up. 5-day forecast, and you're going to notice the chill continuing into Wednesday. In fact, 26 for the morning temperature, 40 in the afternoon. We climb into the 50s by Thursday and Friday, and the 60s for Saturday and Sunday.
3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition.
Right now, a team of NASA astronauts is on its way to the International Space Station thanks to the SpaceX rocket. The crew lifted off last night from the Kennedy Space Center. This is a historic flight because it is the first fully operational mission with a crew for SpaceX. The crew named their capsule Resilience, symbolizing the challenges of 2020. Good name. On board are 2 military officers, a former space shuttle flight controller, and an astronaut from Japan.
I think all of us can agree that 2020 has certainly been a challenging year. Global pandemic, economic hardships, civil unrest, isolation.
The astronauts will spend 6 months on the ISS doing research. What you see on social media isn't always real life. The positive TikTok trend helping teenagers to stop comparing themselves to others.
And why researchers say not every coronavirus test can be trusted.
We hear a lot about the dangers of social media, but a lot of good can come out of it as well. A new TikTok trend is helping teens battle eating disorders. It's called Let's Eat Together. It was created by an 18-year-old in Chicago. Her videos encourage users to stop comparing their bodies to people they see on the internet, and she asks you to eat a meal with her. Her videos have been shared thousands of times. Since the start of the pandemic, the National Eating Disorder Association has seen a 70% increase in the number of calls and online chats.
Walmart is bringing back some COVID-19 protocols with cases going up and the holiday shopping season getting closer. The company is once again limiting the number of customers going into the stores. The goal is to keep capacity at roughly 20%. The store started restricting the number of customers back in April, but many stores eventually stopped counting. Live Casino Pittsburgh in Westmoreland County says it's taking safety precautions ahead of opening day. They say hand sanitizer, signs promoting social distancing, and plexiglass dividers have been placed around table games and slot machines on the casino floor. They're also following a Play It Safe plan, which includes face masks, temperature checks, and cleaning of high traffic areas. The casino is set to open next Tuesday at Westmoreland Mall. The campus of Duquesne University is about to clear out for winter break. What the school is telling students to do to stay safe for the holidays.
It's basically the honor system. If you need help, we'll be there.
Families affected by COVID-19 are getting meals for Thanksgiving and beyond. How just a $1 donation can go a very long way. Damage was widespread across the area after strong winds whipped through yesterday. In Pittsburgh's Allentown neighborhood, caution tape surrounded this tree that snapped in the strong winds. This is on McLean Street, that tree landing right on the roof of a home. The wind was so fierce it toppled the Days Inn sign on Brownsville Road right on top of a parked car.
And in Fayette County, part of a roof was blown off a business. This is at the Yacht Lake Sports Shop in Henry Clay Township. People were inside when the storm moved through. Fortunately, no one was hurt. Oh, breezy and chilly again today.
And meteorologist Danielle Dozier tracking the chance for snow for us in Severe Weather Center 11.
Yeah, the good news is those winds are strong, but they're not as strong as what we had out there yesterday. And we're seeing some sunshine, so that's really nice as well. Visible satellite shows the clouds that are still persisted up well north around Erie, but for us, we're dealing with plenty of sunshine today. So grab your sunglasses. You're going to need your coat as well. 47 degrees today. Strong winds gusting up to 30 miles per hour. As promised, a look at what I think in terms of snowfall and the forecast as we head into the day Tuesday. We will be dealing with scattered snow showers. It's going to be mixing with rain from time to time, so that's going to cut down on the snow totals ultimately. I do think that the ground is still pretty warm. If it can cool off enough into tomorrow, we are looking at the potential of a dusting, but that would be mostly on those grassy surfaces and elevated surfaces across the area. So this is not going to be a big snow event for us by any means. If you do get under some persistent snow bands, perhaps along the I-80 corridor points to the north, or even here in the ridges and mountains, may see about 1 to 2 inches of snow. So that's the forecast right now. But of course, you can always check back Channel 11 News coming up at 5 o'clock. And coming up here in the next half hour, I'm going to walk you through our hour-by-hour wind chill forecast for the day tomorrow.
College students getting ready to head home for Thanksgiving break, and it is leading to big concerns about a spread of COVID-19. Duquesne University will have a nearly 2-month break for the holidays. Channel 11's Michelle Newell found out what the school is telling students to do to stay safe.
I had like a sore throat. I thought it was just going to be a cold because usually before I get a cold, I get a sore throat. And then my roommate also started having the same symptoms. He tested positive.
Ezekiel Michael Dower knows just how serious COVID-19 is. He recovered from the virus after testing positive last month.
And the minute I tested positive, I was really upset and angry because I was listening to all these rules, but it didn't stop me from getting it. So I just called my mom. I packed up most of my stuff and said, I'm just not coming back. It's not worth it.
He's a sophomore at Duquesne University and defensive back for the Duquesne Dukes. Even though he doesn't plan on returning to campus until next semester, he does plan to limit activities during his university's nearly 2-month holiday break.
I think there's just like a lot to worry about right now. Like, I don't want people to take it home and get their family members sick.
Before the holiday break begins, Duquesne University is making sure students are prepared for COVID-19. Students received an email that outlines an extensive plan. The university is recommending all students take a COVID-19 test before they head home for Thanksgiving and at the conclusion of the fall semester. The university will begin distributing free COVID-19 home collection kits to students this week. In addition to testing, students are being asked to limit contact with others for 14 days before they travel, and especially for the days after they take the test.
That they're going to be traveling and that they're going to be coming home for the break, and they don't want to bring this virus with them. So now is the time for them to really be mindful about what they've been doing and really try and just be much more meticulous with trying to avoid the virus.
Michelle Newell, Channel 11 News.
A change of plans for high schoolers in Seneca Valley School District. They're going to continue learning online. The high school was supposed to go back to hybrid learning today, but the district said because Butler County is seeing a surge in COVID cases, high school students will stay home until at least January 4th, and then by Wednesday, students in grades 7 through 12 will also be learning fully online.
Students at South Park High School switching to virtual learning until Thanksgiving. The district says there's been an increase in cases at the school over the past week, and a number of students are in quarantine. No in-person classes will be held at the high school, but the elementary center and middle school will continue to follow hybrid schedules. We know school plans seem to be changing daily because of the virus. You can keep up with the latest on WPXI.com. We have an entire section of our website dedicated to the coronavirus.
People are still planning to hit the road to celebrate the upcoming holidays, and many are waiting to make sure their plans won't be hijacked by COVID-19. NBC's Dan Sheneman has the details.
With the majority of 2020 being spent at home, people are anxious to travel again.
Anywhere from 30 to 50% of Americans are planning to travel over this holiday season. In fact, 80% of all trips for this fall are going to be road trips. And that's because the car just offers so much security to people. It's your own space, right? You know who's going to be with you.
Health and safety are on the top of everyone's wish list, especially while traveling.
Since the early days of this pandemic, airlines have been leaning into science to help guide their decisions.
Nearly 1 billion people have traveled by air, and only 44 cases of COVID have been linked to direct transmission on a plane.
If you are planning on traveling, experts say be prepared for crowds and be patient.
Those days like Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, Sunday on the return are going to be the busier days, both at the airports and on the roads.
Because of the ongoing pandemic, COVID-conscious consumers are expected to wait until the last minute to book any getaways.
They don't want last-minute surprises and have to cancel any trips that they do plan.
And for those who have yet to decide if they'll be home for the holidays, there are some deals to be had, but prepare to be flexible.
The airlines have seen a lot of capacity cuts on routes, so there may not be as many seats flying to some of these smaller destinations.
Regardless of if, where, or how you are traveling this holiday season, experts say follow the 3 W's. Wear a mask, wait 6 feet apart, and wash your hands. Dan Sheneman, NBC News.
It's basically the honor system. If you need help, we'll be there.
Families affected by COVID-19 getting meals for Thanksgiving and beyond. How $1 can go a long way.
And why researchers say not every coronavirus test can be trusted.
If you plan on taking a COVID test before getting together with your friends and family, you may want to avoid the rapid tests. A new analysis from the University of Arizona found they aren't as accurate and often miss the infection in people who aren't showing symptoms. That's because these tests detect what are known as antigens and not the virus itself.
Just because you have a negative test does not mean you will not develop symptoms in a few days, and then you will be infectious and you will be spreading to other people.
Health officials say you're better off going into quarantine and getting a nose swab test. They are more accurate.
It's really a much higher demand than we had in any other year.
This food bank is prepping for a very busy Thanksgiving. Volunteers at the Central Pennsylvania Food Bank have been packing boxes to make sure those who are hurting do not go hungry. Some popular canned foods that are in high demand are peanut butter and vegetables, especially green beans. 1,000 turkeys have also been donated. The food bank is seeing a 40% increase in demand.
And that difference is really families who have been impacted, job losses or lost hours.
To put that into perspective, if you're looking to donate to your local food bank, $1 feeds five families and $5 feeds 30.
Pandemic and everything else going on, this on top of everything kind of sucks.
A 1-2 punch. The expensive Christmas present someone stole right off a local family's front porch.
Temperatures are in the mid-40s right now. I'll let you know what it's going to feel like throughout the rest of the afternoon, and we'll take a look at a very powerful storm in the tropics. Stay tuned.
It was all within probably a half hour, 40 minutes that was gone.
A Pittsburgh woman says someone stole her daughter's Christmas present right from the front porch. And with more people shopping online this season, experts predict these so-called porch pirates to be out in full force. Channel 11's Liz Kilmer explains how you can protect your packages.
Every holiday season, more and more packages are snatched off of porches. Take it from a local mom I spoke with who says a costly Christmas gift was taken earlier this week.
I was very shocked because I didn't think that where we were at that anybody would touch anything.
And yet, unfortunately, Annette Hall and her Lawrenceville family join the millions who fall victim to a porch pirate each year. A crime that always ramps up as we approach the holidays. And more than ever this year, people are getting gifts delivered to avoid in-store shopping.
Exactly. I personally, I'm high risk. My daughter's high risk. I I go to work and come home.
A tough year made worse by this theft. She says the pricey Nintendo Switch she ordered spent just about a half hour on their porch before it was taken. It was going to be her 2 daughters' big Christmas gift this year, and the family was financing it.
I hope that person that stole it needed it more than we did, because that, you're taking from a kid, and that's what's kind of heartbreaking.
Unfortunately, she says the incident was not caught on camera. She hopes her story will serve as a warning to other people. Experts provide these tips. Request that your package get a signature confirmation upon delivery. Have your items delivered to work or to the home of a friend who's always there, or send it to the post office for pickup there. Annette says if they can get another one, she's sending it to a FedEx site.
It kind of stinks because we have to go further. But, I'd rather do that than to go through having to worry about getting stuff again. It's already hard as it is.
Liz Kilmer, Channel 11 News.
Your severe winter Team 11 forecast.
Welcome back. Taking a look at our forecast wind chills for the rest of the day today. Even though it's going to top out in the upper 40s, it will feel more like the upper 30s when you head out because of those strong winds. So dress warmly before you go out the door today. Tonight, we're looking at temperatures falling down into the low to middle 30s with about 35 degrees in Pittsburgh, 32 Indiana, 34 in Greensburg. We'll be monitoring those air temperatures closely because we do expect scattered snow showers into your Tuesday morning commute. So if you do get under some snow, it could reduce your visibility out the door. So be advised that you may want to allow some extra time to get to work tomorrow. Temperature-wise, we're going up to about 40 degrees, and we'll have basically these scattered snow showers continuing kind of on and off throughout the day. So while one place might be dealing with it, the other might be dry. That's going to be the kind of day it is. And it could mix with a little bit of rain in the afternoon. Taking a look at the forecast highs, about 41 Beaver, 41 in Washington. Hour by hour, here we go. Today, sunshine. Tonight, the clouds build. We get into the overnight period, mainly after midnight. We begin to bring in a little bit of light moisture, so we could have some light snow showers beginning to develop. You can see that white showing up there on your screen, and at times this could mix with a little bit of rain, maybe a brief period of sleet. The temperatures will continue to cool off throughout the entire atmosphere. We look at all of the levels of the atmosphere as we head into tomorrow morning. So as that happens, we have the snow that will be flying out there in the morning. It'll be cold enough for scattered snow showers. But as I mentioned, temperatures warm again in the afternoon, so that's when we start to see that wintry mix begin to take place. So you'll notice a little purple here and there showing up on the map, and that's the model data depicting where we'll begin to see that rain, that snow mix from time to time. So that's going to ultimately cut down on any snow totals for the day tomorrow. But again, travel-wise, especially in the morning when we do have those scattered snow showers, could be dealing with some reduced visibility. Well, let's take a look here at the tropics, and wow, this is so incredible to see and so heartbreaking at the same time. This right here is Iota. It is now a Category 5 storm, and look at that well-defined eye. It is heading right for Nicaragua. By the way, the same countries hit by Eta not too long ago with just torrential rain and devastating landslides and flooding. Look at this, the winds 160 miles per hour. That is a strong storm, and it does look like it's going to be making landfall as a Category 5 storm. Unfortunately for them, there are places that could see up to 30 inches of rain, and that's parts of Nicaragua, Honduras, as well as Guatemala. So we feel for them. Here, we're not going to have any impacts from that, of course, but we are going to be seeing the colder weather. Temperature on Tuesday is only 41, and the winds stay pretty strong out of the west-northwest. So it'll be one of those days where we're all bundled up. 40 on Wednesday. Thursday and Friday look good. Lots of sunshine and upper 50s, above average, by the way. And your weekend is still looking good and dry. 62 Saturday and 64 by Sunday.
Thanks, Danielle. Now here's local steals and deals.
Hey guys, I have something that is guaranteed to make you smile. Right now, we're all spending a lot of time at home, spending a lot of time with the family, and I'm sure your kids are going a little stir crazy, and you'd like to make sure that they get their nap, right? How do you motivate your child to take a nap? Now, honestly, I nap on my own, but I'm an adult. So this is called Happy Nappers, and they are the cutest things. And I love this because you know that when your child goes down to take a nap, They can be on a bed, they can be on the floor, they can be on the couch, they can be halfway off something. I mean, when they're out, right? That's something to cuddle, and they want to go to sleep, and you're good. Wait till you see these. So, number one, they're cute pillows. Here's all the different ones. The white unicorn, the little kitty cat, the dog, the little pink unicorn. Look at the shark, and then the husky, and then the ladybug, and then the dragon. And this is a really plush pillow. So right off the bat, that's adorable, right? But wait for it, because every one of these opens up. There's two little snaps. It's a sleeping bag. I know. It unzips, your child gets in, and it's not just a little sheet. It's cozy and plush on the top and on the bottom, and then they put their head on their little unicorn pillow, already built in. They're machine washable, which is fabulous. And you know what? When your kids nap, half the time you're trying to get them to nap. How would you like to motivate them to nap? Oh, do you want to take a nap with your favorite unicorn? Do you want to get your happy napper, right? I'm going to send one to my niece, and she's not a kid anymore, but I know she's going to love it in her dorm room. And I have to say, if they had them in adult sizes, I would have one because I think they're adorable. So, you know how your child loves to have lots of different stuffed animals to play with and take a nap with? Get them a bunch of different ones. Perfect gift idea. Oh my gosh. And machine washable. Don't forget that. So, right now on localsteals.com, they're 20% off. And all I'd say is pick a character, any character. I guarantee your child from 1 to 50 will absolutely love them.
Uber is reportedly in talks to sell its self-driving car division. The group is headquartered in both Pittsburgh and Palo Alto, California. Reports say that Uber could sell to a self-driving car startup. The deal has been in the works since October. Vacation rental site Vrbo released its 2021 travel report, and they think we can expect some pandemic travel habits to stick around. Road trips, visiting the great outdoors, and mixing work and play are all expected to be big next year. Those plans include redoing canceled vacations, freshwater destinations, off-the-grid cabins, and finally taking that bucket list trip.
Well, you probably heard of the Pittsburgh pickle ornament. Many Pittsburghers put it on their Christmas trees, and this year, a big one is going up downtown. The pickle is a giant Heinz pickle balloon that you usually see hanging on the Roberto Clemente Bridge during Picklesburg every summer. The Pittsburgh Downtown Partnership teased it with this illustration on Twitter. The big pickle will be unveiled November 27th in EQT Plaza.
That is all for Channel 11 News at noon. Our next newscast comes up tonight at 5.
Thanks for watching and have a great day.